just to get your initial reactions to some of the nominations. Yi Gang is obviously one that we knew was going to happen. The finance minister, are you surprised by that, given that Xiao Jie has been there for, I think, about 14 months in that role?
Well, I think that now I think that the president, Xi, has broken with the convention, and he's willing to make quick changes. I think that is another sign of that, and we should expect that to continue. Maybe during the government over the next 5 years, there will be a lot of changes too.
What's your thoughts on Yi Gang? Because, you know, if you're cynical, you say, OK, he reports to Liu He, who reports to Xi Jinping. Yi Gang, although he's sort of been, you know, with Zhou Xiaochuan for about a decade, he's fairly junior politically, right, on the totem pole, if you will.
Well, I think that that may not be so important now. This job, I think, is going to be slightly different from what it was before. Now, the main job now is deleveraging and unwinding gray rhinos, kind of to deal with the problems left from the past 15 years. The money supply, M2, has increased by 19 times in the last 15 years, while nominal GDP up by about 6.5 times. This disconnect between money supply and economic activity is the main reason why we're seeing so much leverage and so many gray rhinos. So I think Yi Gang will have a very difficult job how to reduce leverage without disrupting the economy.
Andy, yes, he's in an invidious position, some would say here, wouldn't you? He's got a lot to do, and there are lots of contradictory goals, are there not?
Yeah, I think that after China joined the WTO, China had this boom of productivity. So monetary policy was easy. It was about how to give out money to somebody. Certainly China overdid that a lot. And despite all the problems in Chinese economy have origin in monetary access. China's economic development is real, and urbanization and trade export boom all have happened. But in the back, it was this excessive monetary expansion that led to all these problems. So I think Yi Gang certainly is a very good academic, and he has a very difficult job. And I think that he can do that. He's a pair of steady hands.
Andy, there's also always this rhetoric about continuing to open up the economy, opening up different sectors. The PBOC always asking and telling people to have transparency and trying to give a measure of transparency here as well. Are these all just words ultimately, or will we actually see something happen behind the scenes which is actually real and palpable?
I think the key is money supply, and all these things like we've been talking about. How much ownership share for foreign companies, which market to open up. I'm not sure those things are so important now. The most important thing is to bring money supply under control and to reduce the leverage. Otherwise, China will have a big financial problem. So in terms of opening up the financial sector, we have to make sure the financial system is stable first before we can open up. And so I think we are seeing a lot of pressure from the West to open up. But I don't think that China can do that over the next 2 to 3 years. We have to make sure that, for example, the insurance sector, the insurance sector is wild. It needs to be brought under control. And the insurance companies are like hedge funds. So I think that China has a lot to do, and let's not just be too hasty about opening up and so forth.
Yeah, and China does have a lot to do. So does that mean we should stop talking about and hoping for things like yuan liberalization, capital account liberalization?
I think that we missed the opportunity of yuan convertibility and free floating. That was about 14 years ago, in 2004, that was the moment China could have done that. Now, with all these monetary access, so you have a mess to deal with. So you cannot like have the system exposed to liquidity fluctuation. China needs to maintain liquidity in the system so that you have a cushion. There may be a capital crisis somewhere in the system, but as long as you have enough liquidity, you do not have a financial crisis. So this is not the time to open up the currency or open up the capital account. So any talk will remain talk, in my view.